Happy Thanksgiving, officials around the world, my fellow tailor-made officials. It's me, the smoothest one, your boy Mr. Smooth, again here to break down some more video for the high school basketball season. It's that exciting time of the year, right after Thanksgiving, that really marks when we're done with all the scrimmages, we're done with all the foundation games, so we could finally officiate some ball games. So with that said, I'll be working with one of my fellow TailorMade officials. We're going to focus in on Zaibaa Salesian. So for this video, we're going to strictly focus on court positioning. So I'll be drawing my circles, my arrows, my lines on this video. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to see if I can rewind this just a little bit. Something I want to take note here. So now it's important that when we're in transition that we hustle down and we get the angle to see where our shooter is at, because here you can clearly see that it's a 2-point shot, but when you don't hustle in transition, when the shot went in, our official signaled 3 points here when it was clearly a 2-point shot. So that's why it's important to hustle down, not jog, but sometimes we have to sprint and get that angle. And then sometimes if we're not able to get the look, then we have to make eye contact with our lead official. And there'll be times when you're working with a veteran, like in this situation, the lead is a veteran official, you could look over and he may tell you, no, the foot was on the line, then you don't have to mark it. So that's just one thing you want to add to your game, Zaibaa, is add a bit more hustle. So we're going to go ahead and start the video. Now when we work the lead position, I'll rewind it just a little bit more. What we're going to want to do as a lead, we're going to pick a spot, wherever to be here or here, but whatever that spot is, depending on where the ball is at. So right now we're going to be not quite closed down, but pretty close to it. We want to be here. We want to focus on our competitive matchups here and here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my circle here and see what happens. So you can see all the unnecessary movement that our lead is making. If we would just stayed in that one spot here, there would have been no reason to move. So as this ball gets tipped out wide here, our lead official should be moving out wide because they're going to have to rule on this sideline if the ball goes out of bounds. And you can't do that if you're from this position here. So we're going to roll it. And as you can see, didn't step out of bounds, but you can see that our lead official is leaning her body, trying to get a look. But if we were already wide out here, we could stand up straight and tall and officiate the play. So I'm going to rewind it some more because with the high school season, we have the shot clock. So we have a boys game. So right now, there's been a change of possession. Let's see if the shot clock was reset. Did they put 35 on it or not? So it was reset. So our 10-second count should have began. As you can see, the official starts counting 10 seconds a little late, so you want to be on top of your 10-second count. Because if Salesians would apply a bit more pressure, then they would have got the 10, maybe you would have been at 7 or 6. So just be more mindful of your 10-second counts. I want to stop it here. So at this point, we have pretty much 9 players below the free throw line extended. So our trail official, it would be nice if they could come in here, maybe stand here by the 3-point line, and they'll be able to get a better angle of the players and then being out too tall. So we're gonna go ahead and transition. Our shot clock's reset it. Everything is good. We have a foul call. I want to see the foul again, so I'll just rewind it if I can. So looks like we have either push or a block. Let's see what our official reports. I got my new camera so I can zoom in like I'm playing Halo. I got the brand new sniper scope so we could really zoom in and see who you called the foul on, what kind of foul it was, and everything like that. So right now everything's good. We gotta drive to the basket. Our trail official stepped down, which is good. Okay, we got a good foul call, a good patient whistle. Let the play start, develop, and finish. That's good. So one thing I want to add, because I noticed the last couple of times you called your fouls, if I could rewind it some more. So when you call your fouls and you walk to the table, you're looking back to, I don't know, to find a play or not. So when you call your fouls, but what I want you to practice this season, whether if it's a high school game, CYO game, youth basketball, when you call your foul, say color, number, constant. So black 32, block. Black 32, 2 shots. Black 35, blue ball sideline. So when you go to the table, since you already said the number, there's no need to look back. And your body language will project more confidence because you're not looking back trying to find who fouled or not. So this is something you want to add to your game. We're going to go ahead, we're going to roll it. Okay, so we got a hit on the arm, it looks like 2 shots. So one thing I want to point out, I just want to point the trail official, you may want to show, just for future reference, you want to show a bit more hustle and jog up and down the court. So you always want to show that you want to project that you're in top shape, that you care about the game. So let's show a bit more hustle when we're out there on the court. So now we have a foul. We're going to have a throw in here. So it's important that the non-calling official initiates the switch, because as you work with less experienced officials, they're going to call the foul and they're going to stay out here as the trail. But if we initiate and begin to make that movement, that will force this official, after they report and call the foul, to come down here. So it's something, as you work with lesser experienced officials, is something that you want to do. And also when you work with veterans, they're going to try to take shortcuts and not switch. But we know if we're upholding our tailor-made brand of high standards and high level of excellence, we'll be able to switch on all of our fouls. So I'll go ahead and I'll start the video as we have the switch. Zaibaa will throw him the ball. Now after you throw him the ball, you're going to want to jog to your area as opposed to walk. It just shows a bit more professionalism on the court, and this is the little things you can do to separate yourself from other officials in your association. You'd find an easier way of moving up through the ranks and accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So you can see a little jog right there, which is good. Let's put a little bit more jaw, a little bit more pep in our jaw. So we have a double foul. Looks like we have communication. I want to see whose primary this foul was in, because that official is supposed to be taking it to the table. Let's see if I could rewind it. I'm going the wrong way, it looks like. So let's play it. Looks like it was in the Leeds primary, but the trail did have the open look, so I don't mind the trail taking that call. So we got 2 free throws coming up. Let's go ahead and back that up. So we have a shot for a free throw. So as this shot is being shot and the players are fighting for rebounding action, it's important that the trail official here, you don't want to bail too soon and walk back. You want your momentum to be going towards the players and towards the basket. So when this free throw shot is attempted, you can clearly see as you're taking steps to the backcourt, and your shoulders are also turned away from the play, so you're cutting your field of vision off. So what's important is to stand at your spot, get that angle, maintain it, then once the other team gets the ball, then make your way down the court. So we got a fast break. Layup, pretty easy. Shot clock resets, and it starts when the ball is inbound. It's perfect. Looks like you had a good table crew. It's always good to officiate with a good table crew. So again, we have a drive to the basket here. Instead of staying in the spot that you're in, you want to walk. There's a term called walking the paint. So you want to stay engaged with the play and walk the players down to the paint, because again, all of our players are below free throw line extended, and we're out here at the volleyball line. So you want to increase that distance, so if you do call a foul, your momentum and your positioning is at the basket. You're closer to the paint than players, as opposed to being at half court. So we'll clear it and start it. So I want to go ahead and rewind this right here. So as you're going in transition here, you always want to be active. Right now it looks like you're walking down the court, but if you were jogging, when they do this quick skip right there, you should already be closer to here. If you would have maintained your run, then you've been able to turn and accept the play, as opposed to right here being caught. Not because right now you're straight line. You really can't tell if there's a foul or not, who hit the ball or not. So let's play it. As you can see, you put your arms out because you feel like you're in the way. But it was an easy call to make. But as you do varsity games, as you get into college, when a player gets more fast and more frantic, and there's more at stake as being official, you want to be in the right position at all times. So we got a timeout. Hold on. Let's go ahead and stop the show. Let's go ahead and stop the show. Let's go ahead and rewind it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There's something I want to point out. Something I want to poke fun. You're going to bounce the ball to your partner. I want you to count how many bounces the ball takes to go to your partner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it rolls. So you want to bounce the ball to your partner one bounce. Go ahead and put some mustard on it, some elbow grease. Get that ball to your partner. Show them that you can give them a good bounce pass. So we report our timeouts. So we have a full. Now when you tell him to start it, you do this weird thing with your hand right there. I don't know if you're doing a player control signal or whatnot, but it just looks a little weird, a little awkward. So I just want to point that out to you so you can be able to make the adjustments in your future games. Now after you get the ball back from your partner, instead of walking back to your spot, go ahead and jog back to your spot. This looks good for presentations. So when people from the NCS, people from the state board come down, and let's say you're on your radar to do that state championship game, you want to do everything possible in your control to look your best. That's what we're about at Tailor Made. So just a little note for future reference. You kind of mosey on down. I'm a little tired. Do I really want to be here? And that's what your body language gives off. It may not be what's true, but the perception is reality. And you're over there, you're bouncing the ball, twirling on your hand. Just take that ball, stand. There you go. So you're still wandering, hands in the pocket. It's all about presentation and body, and positive body language. So for high school mechanics, when the ball goes out of bounds, remember, hands straight up in the air, and then point. Let's see if we get our arm a bit more straight when we chop. Again, we got a foul. We're gonna anticipate the switch. So you wanna, because you wanted to do the throwing, but remember, all fouls we switch. Let's see if we maintain our jog all the way to the end line. We almost had it. We almost had it. We want to finish our runs all the way to the end line. We were this close away from getting there. There we go. We got our jog going. We have our angle. Good. Ball moves. We got our angle. Good. We got a little straight line there, but now we got to sprint to the end line. We got a timeout. Granted, Black has the ball, which is good. So you did the little thing where you pointed at your head again. So we have a clock, a bit of a clock malfunction it looked like. So remember, we gotta find ways to look at the clock. Let's see what happened to our clock. So we're gonna have a shot go in here. And right there at 40.9 or whatever, 7.9, the clock stops and it should keep going. So for that brief second it stopped, but it kept going. Not really big of a deal, but it may be a big deal. Fourth quarter big game if it's close or not. Again, we have a. Let me go ahead and rewind it just a little bit. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, right there. It's good enough. So we're going to have a shot right here. Again, I want your momentum to be going towards the basket. You're going to see yourself begin to go that way just a little bit. So remember, shot goes up. Instead of moving back like you did there, keep going forward. Because if you had went forward, you would see blue would have gotten the rebound. You would have been here. And you would have had absolutely the best look at that matchup right there. So that's why it's important to have your momentum going towards the basket during shots. Now we get a steal. So something I want to point out right here. I think I gotta back up just a little bit so we can see it. As the lead, we don't want to be on the floor here. We want to be in the blue off the floor. So it's just something I wanted to point out, something to take note of. So now we have players about to cross as they go to their respective benches here and here. And at this point, our trail official has turned her back to the players. And we haven't yet finished the cross yet. So this number 12 could bump in to this player here, or this player could say something to him, then we have a fight. And since we have our back turned, so we don't know what happened. So even though the corner is over, we want to finish our job, dead ball officiate. Once we know that both players have cleared and gone to their respective benches, and then we could turn and talk to our table crew. So we got black ball to start the fourth quarter, the last quarter. We got the resumption of play method since Salesians took too long to get out from their huddles after a timeout. Good position adjustment by the lead. Drive to the basket. Good pop, getting the foul. Pretty good mechanics. Get to our spot. We stay in that spot. Good hustle by our trail official. A little bit better than the Leeds hustle. 3-point shot, hit rim, reset. So it looks like we're pressing. So when we press, depending on the players are, you may want to be here or here, depending on where the players are. Again, there is movement, so I won't stress it too much now. Good, our shot clocks did what it was supposed to do. So as the ball is here, our lead should be picking up the ball, which they're doing. Our trail should work off ball here. Again, drive to the basket. Take a couple of steps towards the basket. Now we have a switch. So again, we have another drive to the basket. Oh, why did it do that? So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut it out right now. There's no way I could get back to the fourth quarter. I don't have a fast forward or anything, so gonna go ahead and stop it now. I'm gonna pick up later and continue the breakdown.